Someone, guys. Ozzy, I'm in the middle of reading a book by Napoleon Hill, and it's called Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil. And, it hits different things, such as having purpose. It hits different things, how fear controls you. And it's just different points. I think it's about 8-9 points. But there's a point that I was looking for that is truly missing in the book. And it's a point around competition. Guys, if I don't compete. I don't compete. I think back in the day, I used to find myself in spaces where I used to compete. Back in the day, I used to find myself in spaces where I used to be with friends that we were always pinned against each other. I want a hack. Let me teach you guys a little bit of a hack. Don't surround yourself with people who are competing with you. Don't. Mina, if I start getting a sense that a friend of mine is competing, I slowly start moving away. Like competition, especially in high school. I don't know if you guys remember in high school, everything was who will be this. And over time, I've learned to competition speaks to a scarcity mindset. Competition speaks to only one person can make it, and the rest of us are now outside. We are now losers because that one person has made his one seat and the rest of us are at the back. Every time I find myself in a space where it's competitive in nature, I realize that it becomes toxic. I realize, there's no growth for the whole ecosystem in that space. Competition kind of zaps or takes away connection. It takes away connection. It takes away truly understanding umuntu, trying to build with umuntu, loving umuntu, because you guys are always trying to outdo the next person. Competition is all about how can I step in such a way ukuthi ngiyamgcoba. So then you guys start competing. In high school, guys used to compete for girls, and think about it. If a girl likes me like a 6 out of 10, for example, and likes Usbonelo a 9 out of 10, what guys started to do, very toxic by the way, they started talking shit about Usbonelo. Oh, your Maz is a womanizer, you can't trust a guy like that, and he started talking shit about Usbonelo so that he goes from being that 9-8, 7-6, eventually he becomes a 4 in the girl's eyes. This guy who was a 6, oh my God, he's looking after me, he takes care of me in terms of protecting me from toxic human beings like Usbonelo. That's how they got in. But it's not legit. I've always seen it, Guti. If you want the highest building, build the highest building. Some people like, I want the highest building, and the way that I'll get there is by destroying every other building. How does the community work? How do we grow as a band? I've seen it in family. Like the toxicity of competition within family. Guys can't even trust leaving their wives around their brothers. They can't even trust that. Guys are like, if I tell my brother this, he'll then say this. If I tell my brother that, he'll say this. My sister, Now all of a sudden I'm competing with my sister's husband. What car does he drive? What watch does he have? What phone does he... Like, the food he eats, it's not what I shit. You see it time and time again how it creates and breeds toxicity. People have tried to make it in such a way that, oh no, it sharpens you. It really doesn't. What sharpens you is when we work together. So I rather work, cooperate. Let's work as a joint effort. If I have a gym partner, if my gym partner is really strong at the bench press, I know what should I train with him. Rather than competing with him, he's going to elevate me because he lifts 1,000 kgs. I'm only lifting 100. Sharp. So then I will slowly then grow. That's the working in to that collaboration. When we're working together, his strengths will elevate me and my strength will elevate him. That's how we're meant to work. You look at it within a relationship. I've seen so many wives and husbands compete. They're competing for the kids' attention. They compete. I was like, how? When we're in the same household, you have strengths that I don't have, and hopefully I've got 1-2 strengths that you might not have. So where you are weak, that's where I come alive. Where you are strong, that's where you help the family. Like, really, guys, how are we struggling with this? And I see it, especially Tina in the black community, where we are told time and time again there can only be one. There can only be one president. There can only be one black man. There can only, that scarcity mindset keeps hitting us time and time again. And we start competing. You think about industries, matakes, literally route. Now the guys are killing each other for one route. And then you're like, no, if you've got a friend who has the matakes, maybe you start petrol stations, and you guys collaborate and you say, listen, friend, let's do it like this. You have 20 taxis. Your company owns 20 taxis. Maybe can I get 20% of that company? I have now 2 petrol stations. You can then have 20% of that. So I'm invested in a taxi. Yes, you still own the lion's share. Ooh, excuse guys. And then you are also invested in the petrol station. So I'm a taxi arco, fill in here, also petrol here. Another friend comes and they do auto parts and mechanics, and then we get 10% there. He gets 10% of petrol station. He goes to get 10% of my taxi. All of a sudden we grow. So the more my taxi grows, the guy who owns the panel beaters, who owns the auto what, his share and his finances grow. My shares, who owns the petrol station, grows. And now we incentivized. Now think about that ecosystem. Think about that ecosystem where there's this and that and that. I say it all the time. A guy gets a yacht. Now another guy wants to get a bigger yacht. And then another guy wants it. Now, how are we going to all party if there's 5 yachts? So now you can't be with your boys because they partying there, Munya's partying there, Munya's partying. No, yabona wena njobune yacht. Mina ting jet. So we can jet to your yacht. When I take a private island. So that must jetta nye jet yami siyalenda on the island yako and siyapatisha on the yacht yalo. That's collaboration. Every time I look at other communities, I look at the Muslim community, I look at the Jewish community, everything is collaboration. Everything is working together all the time. This person covers that person. This person covers that person. No, we only buy meat from that butchery. We know that butchery. We trust that butchery. But why aren't you starting your own? No, we know. And on top of that, I own shares in that butchery. So I'm invested for that butchery to grow. 5%, 10%, 30%. I own shares in that. So every time I'm in there, as much as I'm buying quality meat that I know and I have a say in, it's also coming back to me from a financial point. Oh, why do you always buy clothes from those? Those clothes aren't because I know, Guti, that is my sister-in-law that runs that company. I'm invested. I own 2% of that company. Therefore, it benefits me and her for me to go buy clothes there. Working together. The connection gets closer. Competition separated because she has clothes, I have clothes. Now it's a matter of where do people buy clothes from? Oh, the people they must buy clothes from me. Her clothes are shit quality. That's what happens with competition. The devil wants to separate us. That's all it's been. They want to separate us because when you are isolated, when you're an island, you're alone. You're alone in your thoughts. There's no one to guide you. There's no one to look after you. So it's great for us to separate and fight amongst each other. It's great. Think about this. If we as South Africa had one political party, the energy, the aggression, the mindset of what Julius, having the wisdom of what Thabo Mbeki, having the smartness of what Dlozi, having abantu my money, tops. Imagine if all those greats came together to build one party. One party. Let me tell you guys a quick story just around politics. So I was in first year. And in first year, we needed to vote for a first-year rep who will represent us in our res. So our res was a very, very small res. I think there was about 75 guys in our res. Very, very, very small. And the first years, there was about, let's just say, there's 25 first years. So it's small, and we need to pick one first year to represent us. The demographics, the racial demographics, there was about 10 black guys, 15 white guys, right? So obviously, we tend to get closer based on race, not because we hate each other. I was cool with all the first years, I was cool with the seniors, but you know what I'm talking about. You tend to get closer with people that you have more in common with. And we're sitting as a machita, so we're sitting all 10 of us, and we're like, we want a friend of ours, Undaki, to actually become first year rep. But we know, Guti, there's another white guy who's so cool, amazing guy. Chances are they're going to vote for him. Chances are he's going to become first year rep. How can we get our boy, because again, at best, the 10 of us vote for him in. At best, so he gets 10 votes. On the other side, at best, 15 people vote for that guy, and he will win. So we're like, okay. So we sat down, we strategized. We can all nominate people. And we said, we're going to do it like this. We're going to look at the top 3 coolest white guys in the first year. And we're all going to nominate all 3 of them. I think we ended up nominating 4 because he needed 5 nominations. We ended up nominating the 4 coolest first year guys. White guys. And I'm not trying to be racial. I'm trying to show how we can separate in order to dominate. So we voted the 4 coolest guys, the 4 guys that had the highest chance of becoming first year rep. And then we nominated our boy, Undak, Jen from Free State. Very, very cool guy. And now we had to vote. 25 first years have to vote. We know Uguti, the 10 of us are going to vote for Uputwetu. We know this. Amongst the 15 of them, if that's what they chose, they have to now separate their votes. So when they're now calling out votes, they're saying, this guy, 3 votes. This guy, 5 votes. This guy, 6 votes. This guy, 2 votes. And then our mates over. What did we do? We divided. We divided the ANC and the Mkhonto, and we divided with the COPE, and we divided with. The more you are divided, the more you are separate as a people, the easier it is to dominate you. Xhosas versus Pedis versus Zulus versus. The more you are separated, the more we work together, the more we are united as Abantu, your family, your friends, at work, the more we are united, we can highlight each other's strengths. We can cover each other's weaknesses. The power that is in collaboration and working together versus competition. I mean, if you're in my space and you come in, but Princeton, there's healthy competition, I don't even want to risk it because I know that a lot of the competition comes from insecurity. I know that a lot of the competition comes with this system. It can start off as healthy. Oh, we're just pushing each other. It can start off as healthy, not even fighting. But slowly with time, you will become insecure. Slowly with time, the toxicity will build. Slowly with time, there will be that. I know that will be there. I know this as a fact. I watch the UFC all the time. And I get so inspired when I see guys like Islam. Islam wants to move up a weight class, but he doesn't want to go fight against who he considers his brother in a different weight class. So you're like, no, I'll chill here. And the guys are like, no, we don't fight each other. And as much as the president of the UFC gets frustrated, why don't you want to fight this guy? He's like, no, he's my brother. And he's not saying blood brother. He's saying brother in Islam or brother in training together. I won't fight my brother. As much as this is my job, as much as I want to be the greatest in the world, I won't fight my brother. I will let my brother have his time in the sun. Once he's done, I will then come through. I can train with my brother, let him push me, perfect. But I won't fight with my brother. They don't see competition the way that we see competition. They see collaboration. Let's work together. Let's push each other through that collaboration. Your strengths are my strengths now. If you have weaknesses, maybe I can cover them. But this thing of Tinezo Ndaki, we allow the devil to get in. Literally, you can't let your chick chill with one of your boys. Now you're nervous, you're insecure. You never trust guys, you never trust girls, you never... Hey, bro, imagine if Usman... You're talking about your boy right now. Hey, I wonder if Usman Ban, if my girl and Usman Ban were to go to Cape Town for a weekend for a work trip. Hey, I wonder what... Because you know how we've been wired, we've been trained. We've been trained to see each other as threats. We've been trained that there can only be one king. No. We are kings and we rule together. We are kings, guys. Right now with the whole tariffs thing, let's work together. China's just saying, no, I'll trade with you. I don't want America to be king anymore. Let's all be kings. Let's all trade together. Let's all work together. Let's all collaborate together. Let's see, instead of having one guy dictating and telling us, let's all chip in. What are you good at? I'm good at making cars. Perfect. You'll supply us with cars. What are you good at? I'm good at making laptops. Perfect. What are you good at? Oh, I'm good at making mini meals. Okay, perfect. Sharp. That's the collaboration. That's how we work together. That's how we build. That's how we grow. That's how we become phenomenal. Guys, get rid of the weed that is pretending to be your friends through competition. Get rid of those things. Get rid of that energy. Get rid of that, and you can be great without having to compete. You can be great without having to squeeze people. You can be great without trying to tear down other people's. And again, I understand the healthy competition. I get that, but it's only a matter of time until people want to outdo you. Get a faster car, get a bigger car, get a hotter girl, no. Keep your eye on the price, build your family, or die trying. Anyway, guys, let me know. I'm sweating. Ilanga's killing me here. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you disagree, let me know why you disagree. Teach us. Let's grow together. Let's share this video far and wide. Maybe there's many people that might benefit and love and have conversations off this. Please subscribe. Hit that like and notification bell. Yeah. Anyway, have yourselves a fantastic day. And Thunder, guys, I'm out.